excited about today's episode because I have been getting a lot of messages over the past few months. Those of you who have been following my weight loss journey, fitness journey, body transformation. So if you are listening in right now, I will give you still some really amazing tips on how to do that and how it worked for me, and also how to be consistent. So it's kind of got a bit of a business feel as well as my weight loss journey. But if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll see all of the different videos that we're going to add, as well as before and after pictures, so you can get an idea of where I started just 10 months ago. So with any further ado, let's get right into it. Hello, my beautiful Lash Tribers. It's me again, Julia Mann, owner and founder of Lash Tribe. I help create successful and fully booked lash artists all over the world with the help of our online and in-person training. All right, welcome back. Now, let's talk about my weight loss journey. I thought we're going to make an episode about this because this is a question I have been getting a lot. Messenger, Facebook, email, Instagram, people say, how do you do it? How can I do it? Now, number one, I want to say I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a personal trainer or anything like that. So I can really only speak from my own experience of what I have been told, what kind of program I've been following, as well as what kind of training I've been doing. Now, all over, I've lost 14 kilos. We'll add some pictures here for you to see since February 2021, and we are recording this now in the 2nd of November. So it's been around 9 to 10 months now of me following a very, very healthy eating plan and working out, pretty much daily exercising. So the funny thing is, when people ask, how do you do it? What tips can you give me? Honestly, it's going to be really boring. However, it's going to be also very educational, because I think a lot of people don't realize that weight loss is really all about consistency. Becoming fit is all about consistency and sticking to a routine. And I will share with you how I've been doing it over the last few months. But the number one thing I want to say first up, unfortunately, and I wish it wasn't the case, there is no one size fits all, and there's no magic pill. I'm so sorry. So if you're expecting a magic pill in this video, I'll just tell you, yep, you get injections, you get this. I know there's stuff like that out there. I want to be healthy. I wanted to do it for myself, feeling really fit. I wanted to do it, I guess, the hard way. I didn't have any operations. Not that those are easy, but I know a lot of friends of mine had operations done. They lost a lot of weight. But I, for myself, I'm really scared about that. And I really wanted to achieve it in a more natural way with dieting, meaning healthy eating. I'm not dieting as such. I'm actually eating quite a lot, as well as exercising and being fit. So I wanted to feel fit. I wanted to gain muscle. And I just wanted to feel good about myself and be an inspiration to my kids again. And when I first started in February, I was actually at my heaviest. I was at about 74.5 kilos. And if you've met me, I'm really short. I'm only 5'2", which is around 1.56 meters. So quite short. So 74 kilos, was heavily overweight. And now I'm down to just under 60 kilos. Now I'm still probably wanting to lose another 3 or 4 kilos in fat mass, but I also want to gain muscle. So I'm actually not going to be ever light. This is like the first misconception people have. The weight is all that counts. It really isn't. Like I said in the beginning, there's not one size fits all. Everyone has a different kind of stature. Some people already are quite heavily built in their muscle mass, have very dense bones. Muscle always weighs a lot more than fat. So I was always a little bit heavier due to my muscle weight. I have a lot of muscles in my body because I used to do athletics. So for me, it's actually really easy to put on muscle, which weighs more than fat. So I've always been a little bit more on the heavier side. But for me, and this is where I get into my program, the number one thing for me that really worked is consistency. And consistency is also something that you obviously have to apply in your business to be successful. So I want to talk about that and how I got to the point to where I am now. Obviously, with anything, whether it's business or weight loss or fat loss, if you're not consistently eating healthy, eating to your macros, which I explain in a minute, and following like a daily exercise routine, as well as having your mind right, you're not going to get to that level of where you need to go for your weight loss. So the number one for me was to join a gym, a community of supporters that I can now always rely on. They are my cheerleaders. They are the ones that tell me I look amazing one day. They are the ones that really push me to go through the workouts. For me, if I was to go home and work out, I probably wouldn't be as motivated as if I have to go up against 20 or 30 other people. So it's like having this community that really makes me consistent. Now, for me, it was good to pay a little bit extra money for the gym. So it's not just a gym membership where you go whenever you want to, and it's like $16 a week or something like that. It's expensive. If you're in Australia, you can check out Body Fit Training. They are very, very expensive, probably one of the more expensive ones out here. But for me, that was actually motivation to have to go, to make it my money, right, worthwhile. So this is another thing that I can recommend. If you have the coin, try and join something that's a little bit more expensive and obviously proven results and really, really good community. So the one that I'm going to, I love, and I go to 6 days a week. Yes, this may sound a little bit excessive. Some people do 4, which is also totally fine. But for me, I find I get a tiny bit lazy if I don't go 6 days a week, and I always have the one day a break. But with a program that I'm doing, it's only about a 50 to 55 minute workout. And there's only really 2 or 3 days in the week where it's cardio based, where you have a high heart rate. And the other days, it's like a balance workout or some weightlifting or some strength training. Yeah. So it's really balanced all together, the program, which I find really, really important. Now, one thing that I had to change in my routine, because I like to sleep in prior, is to get up at pretty much the same time every day. Now, if I'm here at the academy and I'm training starting at 9 a.m., for example, I have to go to the 6 a.m. class in order for me to get ready. But on a daily, I usually now get up at about 5:45, 6:30 to make my 7 a.m. class, which goes for about an hour. I go home, have a shower, have breakfast, and I'm off to work. So being consistent in the time and really focusing on getting that extra hour, whether it's night or morning. I'm more of a morning person for my workouts because I do it on an empty stomach, which I feel gets me better results. It's up to you, but you have to make that time. Otherwise, you're not going to do it. My trainer actually said they recommend to do it in the morning because if you have a whole day of work, you might come home a bit late due to traffic or something like that. It's a lot easier to cancel on a commitment than if you are going to do it straight up in the morning, because there's a lot less possibility of anything happening in the morning other than you sleeping in, of course. So that's my number one tip, is being consistent in the time you wake up, making that extra room for yourself, joining an amazing group of people that will become your cheerleaders. Number 2 of being consistent is to be prepared and have a plan. Now, the gym obviously has a plan that I follow every day, but for myself, I get kind of sidetracked. I have shiny object syndrome. And if I'm not prepared, that means my alarm isn't set, or I haven't prepped my food for the week, or I haven't ordered my meals for the week, because sometimes I order meals, sometimes I prep them, but I have to have it ready to go. If I don't do that and I don't follow that eating routine of preparation and having that plan, I will fail miserably. I will go back to ordering takeout. I'll go back to grilled around the corner, or Betty's Burgers that now opens up. It's very delicious, by the way. I will still have it every now and then. Be consistent doesn't mean that you have to do it rigorously every single time for 2 or 3 years. You need to have your breaks in between. Otherwise, your consistency will turn into something that's so painful, and YOLO, only live once. You don't want to do that, right? You still want to have fun in your life. So be prepared, have a plan, have the community, and make sure you follow those guidelines that they give you. So having a plan of nutrition is what was my number 2, obviously. So I was given a scan right in the start. And if you go to a gym, they either do maybe fat measurements or something like that, or if you have a personal trainer, make sure they measure your body fat percentage. But the scan that I'm doing, they measure so many different things. I highly recommend, if you are in Australia, or maybe this is even available anywhere else in the world, they are called the Evolve scans, basically, and it tells you exactly where you are. And then it tells you nutritional wise what you need to have in calorie intake, and also your macros. So your macros means how many grams of protein, how many grams of fat, and how many grams of carbohydrates should you be having within your day. If you hit that target and you have the same calories that the plan recommends you, you will lose fat. In my case, I needed to lose fat. Or if you are on like a maintenance calorie diet, still a diet, I guess you can call it a diet or not if you want, then you have a higher calorie rate, but you still have kind of your macros that are always balanced towards what you need. And the scan will tell you that. So it was really simple for me. They gave me something to follow. I made sure that I was prepared and I had a plan, and then you just follow it. Now, to follow something and be consistent with it can be hard because sometimes you want to treat. And I feel like I needed to allow myself that every now and then, because otherwise, like I said earlier, you only live once, and there's no point for you for 2, 3, 4 years to just eat healthy constantly. I love sugar. I love treats. I love to have a glass of wine now and then, but you know, I don't actually drink that much anymore at all. I maybe have one drink every couple of weeks now, which may sound very horrible to some people, but you know what? Once you get fit, you get used to it. And then once you start drinking maybe once or twice on the weekend, you will feel horrible the next day and you kind of wean yourself off. I honestly don't enjoy the feeling of alcohol anymore the next day. It gives me a fuzzy head. It makes me tired. Sure, it feels good in the moment, but it's most of the time not really worth it for me anymore. I'd rather feel fit and healthy and see the results, you know. Now, another really important thing is that you don't expect results overnight. It is the same in business as well as in weight loss. So it will take 2 or 3 weeks for you to see results. Now, you will feel healthier straight up. You will feel headachy, maybe a little bit for the first week, especially if you're weaning yourself off sugar and alcohol, you get headaches for a few days. But if you don't go over those 2 or 3 week barriers, which is like the biggest barriers that we usually have, this is where most people fail. You just have to go over that hump, over that hurdle. And if you do, you will start seeing results. And depending on how much you have to lose, of course, and how good you follow a program and a workout routine, the faster you will see results. Now, for me, because I was still allowing myself a treat every week, every Friday I have my donut Friday, in case you didn't know. Or maybe yesterday I had a tiny bit of, what was it, like ribs or something like that. I will allow myself that every now and then. My weight loss is a lot slower. But I want to have a sustainable weight loss, and I want to have a sustainable diet. And when I say diet, I don't mean for weight loss necessarily, but a healthy everyday diet once I am at the state where I want to be, which is maintenance, of course. So what I eat in a day, for example, now might be 2 slices of toast with 2 eggs, half a tomato and a little bit of cottage cheese, and a few strawberries with sugar-free syrup. That is my breakfast, which I now know is around 440 calories, around that. Yeah. For lunch, I might have a meal that already has my macros tailored towards my needs because I'm ordering through the program, which might be around 380, 400 calories. And then I have a dinner that my husband and I have prepared either on a Sunday, or I will again follow the meal plan and I just order something that's delivered to me on a weekly basis, depending on how I feel. So I follow Dynamic Meals, or there's also a company I can really recommend. Their dinners and lunches are amazing and delicious. around $9.90 per serve. It's called My Muscle Meals. They are designed for high protein and really good macros as well. So if you want to not cook and you have the extra cash lying around, My Muscle Meals, I highly recommend. And something else that has really helped me, because I love my sweets and my sugary taste, is just to swap and go low sugar or no sugar. There are so many great companies. I'll insert some pictures right here that have low calorie everything and low sugar everything. Some people have no calories. Some products have absolutely no calories as well. I have syrups for my coffee that taste extremely sweet, and I don't overdo it because it still gives you a little bit of craving for more sweets, but I don't add those extra calories. Whereas before I was eating maybe, I don't know, a spoonful of sugar in my coffee. Now I just have a little bit of syrup and it adds no calories whatsoever, instead of adding an extra 100 calories. Something else I switched is sauces. They are now very, very low calorie sauces. I use CaloFit, really delicious. If you are in Australia, you can get them from many different online shops. CaloFit, I have their mayonnaise, their tomato sauce, their barbecue sauce, because a lot of the time it's those extra little sauces that add just so many calories. For example, I love mayonnaise with like fish, for example, and 1 tablespoon of mayonnaise has like 100 something calories. So now instead of 100 something calories, which could be an entire coffee, like a latte with lots of milk, which I'd rather have than like a tiny teaspoon of mayonnaise, I have switched to a different brand, which has like 5 calories, for example. So it's all about knowing those little tricks and tips. I follow some TikTok stuff on low calorie meals. It's really, really important that you learn how to prep those meals yourself as well. And again, this is all about being prepared, doing your research, and then being consistent with it. And make sure that if you have 1 cheat meal, you don't let that 1 cheat meal go into 2, 3, 4, the whole weekend, the whole week, and then you're back to square one. I definitely have my days where I don't want to do it, but the thing is, I feel so good. And now that I've done it for so long, I know what it feels like if I don't follow a healthy diet and if I don't work out almost daily. It makes me feel like crap, and I feel less accomplished. And being able to lose 14 kilos at age 40 with 2 kids is quite an achievement, and it gets a lot harder the older you get. I just want to sum up everything. And again, you can totally implement that in your business as well. How to be consistent. Number 1, be prepared. Number 2, have a plan, whether you are in business or in the weight loss area, it doesn't matter. Number 3 is allowing treats every now and then. Number 4 is to actually switch to lower calorie, no sugar options, which will save you at least 300 or 400 calories a day, which you can now have bacon and eggs instead, for example. I still eat bacon and eggs, no problem. Number 5 is don't expect results overnight. Be patient with yourself. Number 6, there's no magic pill. I wish there was. And number 7, if you do decide to join a gym, which I highly recommend, or maybe even researching some home workouts, but having that support group has really helped me to stay consistent, and has also really helped me make some new friends and be excited about my transformation and go there and just make new connections as well. Now, if you want any more information on exactly what I eat on a day, feel free to follow my Instagram, which is designed for my health journey. It's Julia Transforms. And yeah, that's found on Instagram. Now, I really hope you enjoyed this episode of the Les Trobe Show. It was a little bit different, I know, but I thought I'm just going to do it because so many people were asking. Now, if you want to be notified every time I upload a new video, whether it's a Les Trobe show or whether it's a how-to video or maybe a video with another trainer, make sure you subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so that you get notified every time I upload a new video. Thank you again so much for watching, and I see you all soon. Bye.